Okay, so we did one example of marginal analysis where we sort of verified that we can optimize by continuing to add one more of something as long as the marginal benefit exceeds the marginal cost. So what I thought we could do is we can go back to our example of renting the optimal apartment and see if we can apply marginal analysis to that. So in this example, we're going to go back to the case when our opportunity cost of time was $15 an hour. And we'll see if we can verify our net benefit analysis from earlier. So let me just kind of go back to that example. So just to refresh your memories, our choice with net benefit was that the apartment close was our best option. That maximized the net benefit. So what we want to do now is to say, okay, well, what is the marginal benefit and marginal cost involved in all of these choices? And so here was the basic setup. So we have all of our apartments from very close to very far. We have the rent decreasing the further away we go, and we have commuting time increasing. And so remember, our opportunity cost of time here is $15 an hour, right? And so if I take a second and think about the problem, how can I apply marginal benefit and marginal cost? Well, as I move further away from the campus, so if I start with very close as my first option, as I move further away, what's the benefit? The benefit is my rent is decreasing, right? So I'm going to, in this example, say the marginal benefit is equal to the change in rent, right? It's how much my rent is going down. The marginal cost of moving further away is the opportunity cost of commuting. So I should say the marginal or the change in opportunity cost of commuting. And so that makes it relatively easy, or a little bit simple to kind of go on. And so notice we don't have to calculate necessarily the benefit and cost of every single option. I can start by moving from the first option to the next one, and I'm going to stop as soon as the benefit is less than the cost. The marginal benefit is less than the cost. So the marginal benefit, remember, as I've defined it in this example, is the decrease in my rent. So the marginal benefit here is the 1,180 minus 1,090, which is $90, right? So I gained $90 by moving from very close to close. So I realize you can't see this, so I'm going to put marginal cost over here. And the marginal cost of going from very close to close is the additional commuting time. The additional commuting time is 5 extra hours. 10 hours minus 5 times 15. 10 minus 5 times the opportunity cost of my time, which is $15. Right? So that's 5 times the 15, or $75 in marginal cost. And so by moving from very close to close, my benefit goes up by 90 in reduced rent. My cost goes up by 75, but the benefit exceeds the cost. So I should move from very close to close because the marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost. So what about if I go from close to far? Well, from close to far, I do get a rent saving. So my marginal benefit, the change in my total benefit, 1,090 minus 1,030 is an additional $60. So my benefit, marginal benefit, is $60 saved in rent. The cost, again, is an additional 5 hours of commuting. 15 minus 10 times the $15 is still $75, right? So every option adds 5 hours, valued at $15 per hour is an extra $75 in marginal cost. So now I notice that the benefit, $60, is less than the cost, marginal cost. So I shouldn't move from close to far, right? By doing that, I'm adding more to my cost than I am to my benefit. And so using the marginal analysis, we arrive at the same conclusion that I should stop at apartment close. Now, what we arrive at the same conclusion, doesn't matter which way I answer it. No, it doesn't make any difference which way you use. We've introduced marginal analysis because it's interesting and it's very relevant for how we actually make decisions, right? So typically you would live in an apartment. So let's say you moved to campus your freshman year and you lived in close, right? So I live in the dorms. Commuting time is low. The rent is maybe a bit higher. Not actually sure if that's true in this example, but bear with me. So then I'm going to decide, okay, well, do I change locations? And to make the decisions on changing, I'm going to evaluate the marginal benefit, whatever that is, and compare it to the marginal cost. As long as the additional benefit exceeds the additional cost, I go. If not, then I don't. And so this is potentially easier, involves less calculations, and it's probably more representative of how we actually make decisions. So that is analysis on the margin.